Get ready, Outlander fans. Time's final thread unravels as Outlander Season 8 brings the epic saga of Jamie and Claire Fraser to a breathtaking close. The Frasers face their most perilous battle yet, not only for survival, but also to establish a legacy that will endure for generations. Will love conquer all, or will history demand one last sacrifice? Prepare for a riveting farewell, where destiny, heartbreak, and the indelible mark of family converge in the conclusion of television's most timeless romance. Outlander has captivated audiences across centuries, continents, and the unwavering power of a love that defies time for more than a decade. The Fraser legacy is getting close to coming to an end now that the eagerly anticipated final season has begun. The extraordinary journey of Jamie and Claire Fraser, a tale of passion, sacrifice, and the unrelenting pull of history, is getting closer to its conclusion. Their lives have become legend, ranging from the blustery cliffs of the Scottish Highlands to the bloody battlefields of a newly formed America. The Frasers must, however, face the ultimate challenge as the final chapter progresses, safeguarding their family's future in a world where the past never truly vanishes. Old enemies resurface, new alliances fracture, and the shadows of war loom darker than ever. Yet amid the chaos, the heart of Outlander remains the unbreakable bond between Jamie and Claire, a beacon of hope in an era of upheaval. Every decision bears the weight of legacy as destinies collide and secrets come to light. What sacrifices will define their enduring mark on history? And what is left of a love that never gave in to the forces of time when the dust has settled? The focus of Outlander Season 8 is the weight of legacy. How love, sacrifice, and perseverance spread through generations despite the threat of being erased by time. The season's core question is, what endures when empires fall, battles fade, and lives end? And examines the conflict that exists between preserving history and submitting to its currents. The last fight for Jamie and Claire Fraser, whose love has stood the test of time and empire, is not for survival, but for meaning. A reckoning with mortality, memory, and the marks they leave on those who inherit their world is the culmination of their journey, which is intertwined with revolution, loss, and unwavering devotion. Jamie and Claire arrive at Fraser's Ridge at the beginning of the season, their hard-won peace threatened by the approaching War of 1812. A wounded messenger arrives with dire news. Jamie's illegitimate son, William, has been captured by British forces suspicious of his loyalties. Meanwhile, Brianna and Roger wrestle with a life-altering choice: stay in the past with their children or risk returning to the future to shield them from the coming storm. Claire becomes fixated on a Native American artifact that she believes holds secrets about the Frasers and time travel, a stone carving of a woman holding surgical instruments. Claire is haunted by visions of her own death. Her investigation suggests the artifact may mark the location of a hidden portal in the Appalachians, tying her family's fate to forces beyond their understanding. Old wounds reopen as Jamie plans a rescue mission for William. Lionel Brown, who had been thought dead for a long time, returns to lead a British-backed militia and rekindle his hatred for Claire. When Lord John Grey arrives at the Ridge, he is torn between his love for Jamie's family and his loyalty to the Crown. This puts a strain on Jamie and Claire's marriage as hidden details about William's family come to light. Mandy Mackenzie, the adult daughter of Brianna and Roger, uncovers clues about the artifact and her family's connection to time travel when she finds Claire's journals in a Scottish estate in the 1980s. Her quest mirrors Claire's journey, pulling her toward the past in ways she cannot yet grasp. Jamie's rescue of William becomes a brutal reckoning, forcing father and son to confront years of estrangement. William renounces his British title to fight for the American cause, cementing his place in the Fraser legacy but painting a target on his back. Claire's health deteriorates back at the Ridge as her visions become more vivid. She confides in Roger, revealing the artifact is not just a portal, but a tombstone for a time traveler who sacrificed herself to close a rift in time. Jamie is shaken when Claire discovers that she must kill herself to protect her family. War erupts in earnest, transforming Fraser's Ridge into a battleground. Jamie and Claire lead their community against Lionel Brown's forces and British soldiers in a desperate defense. Amid the chaos, Claire locates the artifact in a cave beneath the ridge, its eerie glow confirming her theories. Mandy travels to the 18th century with the assistance of a young Ian Murray in a parallel timeline. Their connection hints at a new chapter in the Fraser saga. The season's climax arrives as Claire's vision comes to pass. She died while protecting Jamie during the battle. He takes her to the cave where the energy-pulsing artifact can be found. Jamie refuses to let Claire go, despite Claire's insistence that her death will close the temporal divide. Mandy appears, guided by Ian, and reveals Claire's sacrifice is not an end, but a transference of power. In a startling sequence, Claire's life force combines with the artifact to close the gap and render her body lifeless. Devastated, Jamie vows to uphold their legacy. William kills Lionel Brown, ending his reign of terror, while Brianna and Roger choose to remain in the past. Mandy returns to her time, carrying Claire's medical tools and a letter for future generations. The story closes with an elderly Mandy unveiling a monument in Scotland to Claire's memory. A ghostly Jamie smiles beside her as she places Claire's tools in a museum. The camera lingers on their graves at Fraser's Ridge, now covered in wildflowers, as their voices echo with wedding vows. The artifact glows faintly one last time. Outlander's Fraser legacy is a profound tale of love, sacrifice, and perseverance that spans centuries and generations. It is rooted in the union of Jamie and Claire Fraser, whose love defies the constraints of time but expands far beyond their immediate bloodline to encompass those bound to them by loyalty, choice, and shared purpose. Their legacy is not merely a family tree, but a living testament to the enduring impact of ordinary lives on history's grand tapestry. It begins with their children and descendants. The conflict between privilege and moral obligation is exemplified by William Ransom, Jamie's illegitimate son. He was once a member of the British aristocracy, but he gave up his title to join the American revolutionaries and fight for justice instead of comfort. Brianna and Roger Mackenzie, Claire and Jamie's daughter and son-in-law, anchor the lineage in the past by choosing to remain in the 18th century despite the dangers. Their children, Mandy and Jemmy, inherit Claire's time-traveling gene and the family's unyielding spirit. Mandy, as an adult, becomes a bridge between eras when she discovers Claire's journals, unlocking secrets about the family's connection to time travel. While she navigates the past with the assistance of Ian Murray, a steadfast ally who is not a Fraser by blood but exemplifies the theme of chosen family, her journey is similar to Claire's in that she combines curiosity with courage. The Fraser narrative is replete with sacrifices. Claire's death is not an end, but a transcendent act. Merging her life force with an ancient time travel artifact, she closes a temporal rift to protect her descendants, cementing her role as both healer and martyr. Jamie, shattered by her loss, vows to uphold their legacy. William's rejection of his British identity, and Brianna and Roger's choice to forsake the modern world for the past further underscore the legacy's foundation in selflessness. Historically, the Frasers shape pivotal moments often invisible in textbooks. During the War of 1812, their defense of Fraser's Ridge serves as a microcosm of America's struggle for independence. Through Mandy's work as a historian, Claire's medical knowledge from the 20th century, which she preserved in her journals and tools, has an impact on subsequent generations. The family also becomes custodians of Scottish culture in the New World, preserving Gaelic traditions and Jacobite resilience amid displacement and conflict. Love and time intertwine as the legacy's heartbeat. Jamie and Claire's vows to love each other always transcend death, manifesting in a ghostly reunion centuries later. The mysterious stone carving of a surgeon, revealed to depict Claire, serves as both portal and tombstone, symbolizing how love anchors the family across eras. Identity and belonging are recurring struggles. William's crisis, torn between his British upbringing and Fraser roots, mirrors the broader theme of belonging as a choice, not birthright. Mandy, straddling two timelines, embodies the tension between past and future, while Brianna and Roger's decision to stay in the 18th century reflects a rejection of comfort for the sake of familial truth. The legacy's conclusion is both intimate and eternal, a monument in Scotland dedicated to Claire, a healer, warrior, and timeless spirit, is unveiled by an elderly Mandy to ensure that her contributions will endure beyond Fraser's Ridge. Jamie and Claire's graves, nestled in the wilds of their beloved homestead, become a quiet symbol of legacy rooted in land and love. We are Frasers not by name alone, but by the choices we make, to love fiercely, to fight for what's right, and to trust that time will carry our stories forward, Mandy wrote to her unborn children in a letter. Ultimately, the Fraser legacy is not a relic of the past, but a living force. It thrives in William's courage, Mandy's curiosity, Brianna's resilience, and the quiet strength of those who carry their name or ideals. The legacy whispers that love, like time, is limitless as the final season winds down. It bends, breaks, and rebuilds, but never truly ends. The final scenes of Outlander unfold with a quiet, aching beauty, bringing together centuries of love, loss, and perseverance into a single, indestructible truth. The artifact's light dims as Jamie holds Claire's lifeless body in the ancient Appalachian cave, closing the temporal rift and opening the door to the past. The ridge, still standing despite war scars, becomes a silent witness to the Frasers' last chapter. Claire is buried by Jamie beneath a forest of white pines, her grave being marked not by a stone, but by the surgical instruments she wore throughout history. He spends his days tending to the land and telling the stories of those he loved as a guardian of their legacy. He closes his eyes one last time years later as an elderly man beneath the same trees, clutching her worn shawl. The wind stirs the leaves, and for a heartbeat, Claire's laughter echoes, a whisper of reunion beyond the veil. Mandy Mackenzie publishes Claire's journals in the 1980s, revealing Claire's journey as a healer, time traveler, and woman who rewrote the margins of history. The book becomes a global sensation, but Mandy keeps one secret: the carved stone artifact, now dormant, hidden in a vault beneath the Scottish estate where her journey began. In the series finale, Fraser's Ridge is once more visited. Brianna and Roger gather their grandchildren around a fire, their hair getting greyer as they get older. While Mandy's children play near Claire's overgrown grave, Jemmy strums a lute and sings a Gaelic ballad that Jamie once taught him. The camera lingers on the carving, now half buried in moss, its surface faintly shimmering. The episode weaves together themes of love, loss, and immortality like a whispered benediction. Autumn leaves gently fall over Claire's grave on Fraser's Ridge. Instead of a stone, her weathered surgical kit and a single white rose, Jamie's last promise, mark the spot. Though his hair is silver and his frame bowed by years, Jamie sits beside her resting place, a journal open in his hands. He reads aloud Claire's final entry, her words echoing across the valley. To love is to etch your soul into the world. Time can take us away, but it can't free us. Jamie's breathing becomes more laboured as the sun sinks below the horizon. He smiles softly as he strokes the rose with his hand. The wind carries the scent of lavender, Claire's touch, as his eyes close. The screen goes away. For a fleeting moment, they reappear. Young again, standing hand in hand on the cliffs of Craig na Dun, their laughter mingling with the roar of the sea. Mandy enters a Scottish museum decades later with her granddaughter beside her. They stop at Claire Beauchamp Fraser, Healer Across Time, a brand new exhibit. Under glass are Claire's journals, surgical instruments, and the enigmatic stone carving, whose light has long vanished. A handwritten note that Claire wrote the night before the final battle is displayed on top of the display by Mandy. It reads, "Remember our tales, but never our troubles. The best of us lives in what you choose to fight for."